This part may be a little long-winded, but I think it's important to know where I'm coming from and my training background, because if you don't know that, I'm just some random dude on the internet, and why should you listen to me? Up until now, I honestly haven't really made an effort to promote my work, or even take pictures of most of the stuff I make, because I've been so swamped with private label gigs. And I still am. All of this class stuff has been the result of me setting aside the first hour of every workday to get the ball rolling on these lessons. As far as my credentials go, well, I started off self-taught like pretty much everyone else. I was combing through Instagram all day, every day, looking for photos that may shed light on any techniques I wanted to learn or any different items I was interested in making. Obsessively scrolling through the main forum at the time, leathercrafter.net, and compulsively searching Japanese leather terms on yahoo.co.jp and reading through all the Japanese leathercraft blogs. Those were extremely informative. Go-san's blog of Go Designer Leathers, which I'll link to below, is probably the most informative free leathercraft resource I've ever come across. It's honestly insane. He shows pretty much every step in crafting his truly incredible work. Obviously, Niwa-san's blog and Instagram as well for inspiration. By now, you're probably noticing a trend. I absolutely love the Japanese style of leathercraft. I feel like they combine the best of every country's techniques and aesthetics to make the cleanest, most practical items imaginable. I mean, Japanese craftsmanship is in general no secret. If there's a craft out there, there's some Japanese guy doing it to the max. That's why, after full-time leather crafting for a few years, I decided to invest in myself and reach out to Go-san for lessons. In my opinion, he makes the finest hand-stitched leather goods in the world, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. I was totally shocked that he was receptive to the idea, and next thing I knew, I was off to Japan to study with him for 3 weeks of one-on-one lessons. I couldn't believe it. It was literally a dream come true. Turns out that was the best thing I could have possibly done to further my career. I learned so much in those 3 weeks. Honestly, I really think it would have taken me at least 5 years of experimentation to learn on my own what I was able to learn with Go-san in those 3 weeks. And truly, some of those techniques, I don't think I ever would have thought of. I honestly couldn't imagine a scenario where I would have accidentally stumbled into some of this stuff. When I came back from Japan, my work was on a whole nother level. I was able to get some private label gigs I never would have been able to get otherwise. I had the skills and the confidence to make pretty much anything as far as small goods go, and those private label customers make up the bulk of my income to this day. Naturally, after making so much progress the first time, I wanted to return to Japan and train with Go-san again, so I did for 2 weeks. We worked on an English-style briefcase with accordion gussets, and I learned a ton about bags, handles, and different styles of gussets. For the next couple of years, as my production volume was increasing, I was machine sewing more and more, to the point where everything I was producing for private label was machine sewn. All of my machine sewing knowledge up to that point was self-taught, so I decided to be worth the effort and expense to undergo training for machine sewing. In my mind and the mind of many others, Niwa-san of Niwa Leathers produces the best machine sewn leather goods in the world. I visited Niwa-san a couple years prior when I was there studying with Go-san, but that was just a visit. So I reached out to him, and to my surprise again, he was receptive to the idea of training me. I was in the process of planning a trip to Japan with my good buddy Jake Burke of Burke Works and Regular Workshop anyway.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Going to get some supplies. By supplies, I mean sandwiches. And as luck would have it, Niwa-san had a week available for classes. At this point, I was freaking out. I already had over a month of training with the best hand-stitched leather goods maker in the world, and here I was, booked in with the best machine-sewn leather goods maker in the world. And not only that, for the 10 days leading up to studying with Niwa-san, I was going with Jake to study with this shoemaker, Ikuma-san, down in Yamaguchi. It was unreal. I learned a tremendous amount from Niwa-san about machine sewing and construction methods to make items more suitable for machine sewing, which really is just as important as the actual machine sewing. Not only that, I gained some great insights making shoes with Ikuma-san and have incorporated some shoemaking techniques into my workflow as well. I know there's that old adage, you should never meet your heroes. But in my case, Go-san, Niwa-san, and Ikuma-san couldn't have been more kind, helpful, or inspiring. They are truly amazing human beings, and I treasure the time I was able to spend with them. Without them, I would not be the leathercrafter I am today. So, I'd like to dedicate this course to them. Thank you. Domo arigatou gozaimasu.